the heart of Pittsburgh at Mount Washington Shop and Save. At Mount Washington Shop and Save, we're more than just a grocery store. We're your neighborhood destination. From the freshest local produce to gourmet delights, we've got it all under one roof. Experience convenience, quality, and savings, all in the heart of Mount Washington. Mount Washington Shop and Save, where Pittsburgh shops with a view. Shop smart, shop local, shop Mount Washington Shop and Save.
Play It Again Sports in Greensburg is your locally owned and operated sporting goods store. We set ourselves apart by offering a wide variety of both new and used equipment at competitive prices. Located in the Greengate East Plaza, below Walmart, Play It Again Sports' knowledgeable staff will help you and your family prepare for every athletic season. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or trade, we are here as your one-stop shop. At Play It Again Sports in Greensburg, everybody plays.
Thank you for calling Penny, PA's health insurance marketplace. How can I help you?
I need help paying my health insurance premiums.
You came to the right place. Penny gets you the lowest costs on high-quality plans.
Enroll now at penny.com. Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
A wonderful day!
Welcome to Temple Strength and Sport Performance, where we empower you to reach new heights in strength, speed, and athletic performance. Temple is here to support you every step of the way. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned athlete, join him in Jefferson Hills, Pennsylvania, and discover the difference. For more information, call 412-527-1755. Start your journey with us today.
Do you have a favorite leather couch or chair that's damaged? Has your car, boat, or RV's interior seen better days? Maybe your business's furniture or your private aircraft's interior could use a little love. You're probably thinking replacement is going to be expensive. And what happens to the damaged piece after you throw it out? Does it just end up in a landfill? It doesn't have to. Fiber New specializes in the restoration of leather, plastic, and vinyl. To get an estimate, connect with us today.
For over 20 years, groups, families, and individuals have been saving money with the Avia Dental Plan.
For as little as $9.25 a month, members can save up to 50% or more on dental care. Plus, everyone qualifies, and there is no waiting or limits on visits to the dentist.
Start saving today with the Avia Dental Plans.
Go to getlowcostdental.com or call 1-888-431-2273. Smile. You're with people who care.
Look at him, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, climbing his way through the corporate rat race. We've all been there, focused on that next raise, promotion, chocolate bar. Keeping an eye on your health can be exhausting. Weight Loss Direct is a personalized wellness and weight loss program. We utilize an AI algorithm to determine your specific foods and match you with a real-life coach and an easy-to-follow meal plan so you could stay on track to success and health. Check out weightlossdirect.com to learn more.
And we welcome you to Baldwin High School for tonight's section matchup. It's the first section game of the year for the Baldwin Fighting Highlanders at 4-1 overall. Peters Township at 3-2 has already played a section game against Thomas Jefferson, 0-1 to start the year. Hi everyone, Austin Bechtel joined alongside Ethan Spazarski. We're back in the saddle here on TenbandTV as the Baldwin Sports Channel as Peters Township has the basketball following Baldwin winning the jump ball, but not being able to capitalize on the first possession. As Sopko drives in, misses the shot, and Hannah Prilla grabs the rebound. The starting five for Baldwin: Lindsay Bernanis, Jules Ott, Kelsey Meyer, Isabella Niles, and Hannah Prilla. The same starting five that Jamal Woodson in his sixth season has deployed in every game. The five early this season. Stolen away by McCullough. Taylor McCullough, the sophomore guard, drives all the way in, plus the foul. And the first points of the game go to Peters Township. 51 seconds in.
Yeah, that's exactly what you're going to see. Even though Peters Township last year WPIAL champions and having lost a lot of talent, specifically, I mean, with a lot of older seniors, you're going to see a more closer matchup tonight with an experienced Baldwin team coming up against a new age of Peters Township girls basketball.
And McCullough hits the free throw. It's Bree Moriel, Caitlin Malloy, Alina Sopko, Jordan Welsh, and Taylor McCullough. 5 starters for Steve Limberio. Well, another steal for McCullough. Pass Ott. Fight for the loose ball, though, as Peters Township couldn't corral it. They now will with Malloy. And giving way to the corner, it's Welsh. Who now extends closer to half court. Welsh defended by Niles. Gets around Niles. Welsh goes all the way in, hits the layup.
Peters Township so far, I mean, aggressive defense, and it's paying off with complimentary basketball because they're finishing at the rim. They're just getting the right steps, right positioning in for those first 2 layups, and following up with that N1 again by McCullough.
Ott over to Lindsay Renatus, the junior guard. Our Baldwin's leading scorers this year. Dishes to the corner, but another steal for McCullough. That's now 3 on 3 consecutive possessions, but it's taken away by Niles. Niles is able to poke it, has Bernatus, bounce pass to her, drives inside, puts up the shot, and hits. First points for Lindsay Bernatus of the night after Niles forced the turnover. It's McCullough up top. Defended by Ott. McCullough drives all the way in, dishes it, and it's stolen away by Bernatus. Lindsay with Niles trailing. Bernatus, good move inside to hit the layup. Back-to-back buckets for Lindsay Bernatus. Give her 4 in a 1-point game.
Now Baldwin kind of transitioning to what we saw early with Peters Township, forcing turnovers and being able to finish at the rim. And Lindsay Bernatus, you saw it a lot last year. Great work on being able to finish the rim. Nice step to the right, able to get that right-handed layup to go.
McCullough backs it out to Moriel. Moriel, the senior, 5'6" guard. One of the most experienced players on the team, also a returning starter. Now Sopko on the wing. Tries to get away from Niles, gets a screen, and just throwing towards half court where it's taken by Ott. Jules Ott streaking down the court. Takes the contact and will go to the line. So after a 5-0 start, it's been Baldwin that's starting to push the tempo.
And that's exactly what you need. Even though Julian Ott wasn't able to take it to the rim and finish like we saw with Bernanis, the most important part, she takes the contact and does a really good job completing the foul. Now let's try to see the full capitalized play with her at the line.
And she hits the first. Baldwin is the only team in 5A Section 4 to have not played a section game as of yet. This being the first. After the non-section game Wednesday against Peters Township, Ott hits them both.
Yeah, I mean, Baldwin has more of a backloaded conference schedule than Peters Township specifically. We already seen Peters have their first conference game against Thomas Jefferson. However, now it's going to be, we're going to try to see Baldwin kind of get their, I guess, sea legs underneath them, because this is a very well-experienced team, and more importantly, you have a lot of returners coming in from last year.
And foul goes on Isabella Niles, her first, as Lacey Bernatis comes on for the first time. Niles was applying pressure on Alina Sopko. Senior guard will inbound right at the Baldwin bench. Easily thrown in, but they bring the double team with Bernatis. McCullough able to dribble around it. Dish to the corner. Sopko pulls from three and got it. It rattles home for Alina Sopko. 3 different scores for Peters Township to start the game, and they take the lead.
I mean, again, this is a team that is still really well oiled. And despite coming off the loss from Thomas Jefferson, this team knows exactly how to basketball. And they're led by really well put together head coach with Steve Limborough.
It's Bernatis that ends up falling to the floor and fouled by Moriel for her first. And she lost possession of the basketball, got it back ever so slightly, with the foul being called on the floor. And there's now 2 fouls on either side to start action, as we're almost halfway through the first. Out on the wing, looks down low, Bernatis not there. Gets a screen from Prilla, but a moving screen called on Hannah Prilla. Her first foul.
You could see Hannah Prilla, I mean, you could tell she was helping run the offense, able to communicate with her different players exactly what she was doing there. She got a little too aggressive out front. And it's almost to the point right now where with Peters and Baldwin, it's anything you can do, I can do better. Back and forth, but the turnovers, the early scoring, and the turnovers again.
And Ott takes it away from McCullough and capitalizes. Jules Ott with the steal and score. Give her 4 on the day. McCullough drives inside, gets around Prilla. Prilla with the rebound.
She did that a lot last year. I expect her to do that, staying down low in the post, down with either block, trying to collect rebounds.
And Ott throws it away, trying to find Lindsay Bernatis, just too high.
And early on, I think we're seeing that these are going to be the keys to the game, the biggest key game, who's going to be able to capitalize on the most mistakes from the other team, because so far we've seen both sides commit a lot of mistakes and capitalize on a lot of them as well.
Into the hands of Moriel. Up top, Malloy. Step back for Welsh and misses everything. Now J.C. Klingensmith will come on for the first time for Baldwin as Prillo goes off to the bench. So Peters Township will deploy the press. 3:57 to go first quarter in an 8-8 game. And it's stolen right away by Welsh off the inbound as Kelsey Meyer could not get it to Bernatis. McCullough swings to the corner. Sopko, the lefty, steps back. Can't hit. Offensive rebound, Malloy. Sopko gets it back and scores.
I think that all starts from Lindsay Bernatis not being in the correct position. She was not where she needed to be for that offensive rebound for Peters Township. And then the Indians work out to Sopko. Sopko, easy shot for her, easy floater. She collects.
Bernatis drives inside, dishes to Lacey Bernatis and pulls for 3. Rattles off, fight for the rebound, still fighting for it. It's McCullough that picks it up. McCullough with Klingensmith there and Lindsay Bernatis, and it's a push in the back. As McCullough hit the deck, and they get Klingensmith for her first. 4th on Baldwin in the quarter. Mara Radulovic, a junior, 6-foot forward, subs in for Peters Township for the first time. Maddie Mell, junior, wearing 22, also into the game. Peters doesn't run too deep of a bench as Moriel pulls for 3. Offensive rebound by Radulovic. Keep the possession alive in the hands of Welsh. Here goes cross court. Mell defended well by Lacey Bernatis. Has to outlet. And Lacey takes it away. And fouled. Pushed right into the table. He was trying to deliver the pass.
Yeah, you're seeing it both sides a little aggressive. They're not afraid to, get up, be personal, press on whoever they're covering. And you're seeing it at both sides. It's paying, and there's some benefits to it. And I think, right there, Bernatis really benefited being really close to the sideline, forcing Sopko to be a little more pressure resistant there.
Lindsay looks for an outlet. Goes to Klingensmith. Down low, Ott cutting into the basket and scoring. And a good find from J.C. Klingensmith to give Jules Ott 6 points.
Really good lead pass there. It's exactly where it needed to be, especially with Peters Township, who's running that woman-to-woman defense, really sticking onto each other, not allowing a lot of separation.
Tipped away. Ott, another steal. Looks down the floor. Ott is fouled on the pass looking for Bernatis. as Moriel was involved, as well as Sopko. And they get Bree Moriel for her second. It's the fourth on Peters Township of the quarter, so both teams with 4, 2:20 still remaining in the first 8 minutes as McCullough comes back on. So we'll throw it in from the right side block, set up in a box formation on the inbound. They go right into Meyer, and she's fouled. Kelsey Meyer will go to the free throw line for 2.
A really good job, and now Meyer getting a chance to capitalize on some earlier mistakes you saw offensively. Now Kelsey's going to get sent to the line. Again, really good job just taking some of the contact, now trying to see if you can complete the play and complete off of a Peters Township mistake.
Foul goes on Maddie Mell for her first as Meyer, shooter's touch, able to capitalize on the first. The whole entire team went over to the bench to talk to Dawn McCullough. Actually drafted into the WNBA. He was mother of Taylor McCullough, assistant coach under Steve Lamberio. For a Peters Township team that won the WPIAL 5A championship a year ago, doing something that really nobody thought was possible and beating South Fayette. Well, you knew Peters had a really good team and was capable of it, but South Fayette, who ended up winning the 5A state championship and rolled through the WPIAL schedule, including a playoff victory against Baldwin. Shot off the mark for Mel. And Klingensmith can't keep it from going out of bounds. It touches the baseline.
Yeah, Peters Township, I mean, I think this is storytelling at its finest. You beat South Fayette 40-36 in the WPIAL championship game. I mean, winning by 4 and then going out to lose to that team later in the state run.
Kelsey Meyer takes away the inbound. Too far for Welsh, and Meyer hits the layup.
Really good job sticking with it, especially with pressure right behind her. Focused exactly on her ball handling. Easy layup from Meyer, and it goes.
4 for Meyer as Baldwin has built a 4-point lead. 14-10. McCullough drives inside, loses the ball. Lacey Bernardis with it. Up to Lindsay. To the corner and Klingensmith. Ott's open and has it. And pulls the trigger for 3. Right off the back of the rim. Fight for the rebound, tipped in the hands of the Peters Township Indians. It's Sopko. Tries to create some space. And Sopko has a lane, drives in, looks for an outlet. Inside, left-handed layup, goes to Radulovic.
That was a size mismatch, and Radulovic took full advantage of it, having those few extra inches up top.
Good find from Lindsay Bernardis to Lacey, who takes the driving lane and puts it in. So the sisters connect as Lacey had the 3, decided to bypass it, had the open driving lane, and why not just hit the floater to keep it a 4-point game. Down low, Radulovic, another layup, good.
That was another really good shot. She even got pushed in the back on the layup.
Down low, Klingensmith as the tempo continues to pick up, and J.C. Klingensmith will shoot 2.
Really good job again. Just complimentary basketball. I mean, for both sides, really, what we've seen early on. However, when these mistakes happen, these are free given points that allow each team to push ahead. And that's exactly why Baldwin has that 2-point lead, because of these extra free throws and these fouls committed by Peters Township.
Klingensmith can't rattle in the first. We talked about that South Fayette game. It was the loss for Baldwin in the 5A quarterfinals after beating Chartiers Valley 73-72 in the first round of the playoffs, 67-31. And a big reason why is because, I don't know, South Fayette's entire starting 5 is going D1. That might help.
I mean, I think that does a lot for your team when you have that much talent on it.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, it has a little bit to do with it.
Sopko in the final 30 seconds to Radulovic. Taken away by Ott. Goes right into the passing lane. An easy, uncontested layup.
Can't make it any easier than that.
And some poor decisions from Peters Township in the first quarter after they were in control the first couple of minutes. Down low, wide open Mel, but can't hit the layup. Second chance at it, though. Left it short again. Another offensive rebound for Peters. Radulovic can't hit. Bernardis ends the quarter with the basketball and with a 5-point lead. 19-14. As Baldwin puts up one of its best scoring quarters of the season so far. 8 minutes gone, 8 more to go before halftime here on TenbandTV.
Play It Again Sports in Greensburg is your locally owned and operated sporting goods store. We set ourselves apart by offering a wide variety of both new and used equipment at competitive prices. Located in the Greengate East Plaza, below Walmart, Play It Again Sports' knowledgeable staff will help you and your family prepare for every athletic season. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or trade, we are here as your one-stop shop. At Play It Again Sports in Greensburg, everybody plays.
Discover the heart of Pittsburgh.
(19-14). Baldwin leads against Peters Township. Back for the start of the second quarter. Austin Bexel, Nathan Spazarski alongside us, the Baldwin Sports Channel's 2025-26 coverage of Fighting Highlander basketball. Section play begins tonight against Peters Township. The boys will take the floor after tonight's girls matchup. Well, they have the foul called on Klingon-Smith. On the push in the back as they get Klingon-Smith for her second foul. And Jamal calling out the play. Seemingly they've practiced what this is against defensively as they look down low, and it's called 5 seconds. And there's an excited coach when preparation comes into play, and it pays off.
Preparation and communication. You're able to communicate with your team. You see it's effective, and Baldwin has, even despite the slow start, communicated a lot better than the start, committing less mistakes.
Bernades, count the basket. And we'll go to the line. They gave Lindsey Bernades the continuation on the foul on Maddie Mell for her second. Wow, that's a continuation you typically see in the NBA, not necessarily in high school basketball, but Bernades takes advantage of the three-point play.
That's exactly what you got to do, and we're seeing that. And the reason Ball was able to finish so strong is because of how much they were able to capitalize off of those Peters Township mistakes, and a lot more than you're usually what you're used to seeing from this traditional Peters Township team.
Mel inside, gives way to Sopko. Sopko looks down low to the corner. Swung around trying to find McCullough. It's back up top to Sopko. Sopko drives in, gets around Meyer. Dishes where Malloy travels. And talking to Steve Limberiu before the game, he said, look, it's a different team than it was a year ago. When you have Natalie Wetzel, 6'4", goes to Miami, already a contributor, and was just an absolutely dominant force on the offensive end of the ball. But he said, especially on the defensive side, where teams just would not challenge us down low in the paint, it's a lot different to try to defend against opposing teams as Bernades steps out of bounds. When you have that huge post presence and average 4 blocks a game, if anybody tried to contest and challenge, it makes it different when it's a team with not a lot of height now after playing through the post for a long time. As McCullough drives in and is able to create some space and score.
Yeah, I would tell you what, Taylor McCullough has shown a lot of talent throughout tonight, even with not being able to come out with a lead through the first quarter. Her ability, her ball handling skills, and ability to just play the game right now just stands out above a lot of really different players in this team. Ott
was not able to find Prillas. It was thrown over Prilla's head. It was the last to touch it, streaking towards the right side block. And a 22-16 game. Minute gone by here in the second quarter as McCullough has the basketball. Gets a screen from Malloy. McCullough looks for an outlet, looks down low. Sopko loses it and out of bounds. And this is just a lot different, is the main way to put it for Peters Township compared to the success they've had over the last couple of years.
Yeah, Baldwin's making them uncomfortable. There's a lot of press. There's a lot of, just mass.
Bernades, another layup. Lindsay's got 9. Jules Ott has 8 so far of the 24 points.
Baldwin's just putting a lot into Peters Township's face right now that they're not really expecting for. A lot of hard passes, a lot of collisions, a lot of unplanned shots.
And another travel, as this time it's Jordan Welsh, the sophomore, that's called for it. And Limberiu said there's going to be a lot of teaching moments. Sure that they do have 3 returning starters. But it is a different team with a different type of philosophy with their approach of how they're going to try to win basketball games.
And I guess that just goes to show the different storylines of where this Baldwin team is, because last year that was the question for the team, not because of the returning success, but the lack thereof and how they were responding. Now this year, they're in a better position for themselves.
And another for Lindsey Bernades, dominating that left side block. And with only one main senior contributor last year and Mary Vargo graduating. It's a team that's very experienced, has played together a lot, and has forced a ton of steals today as it's Meyer capitalizing. 6 for Kelsey Meyer, and a timeout called by Peters Township as Baldwin has built a 12-point lead.
Exactly, and you're seeing it here in transition. These passes are just flawless. You're seeing exactly everyone knows where they need to be. They know their assignment. Baldwin is just continuing to trend and really stick to their talents of what they know how to do.
So Baldwin lost the first game of the year against Shadyside Academy, 52-47, as Meyer, the 6th man last year, into the starting lineup this year with Vargo graduating and the junior able to help this scoring barrage for Baldwin that's already 9 points in this second quarter. The loss to Shadyside Academy, Joel Woodson said, was kind of just shaking off the rust. It was kind of a weird flow to the game and a weird feel of, well, the season has started, but have we really showed up for the first game? And the answer was kind of, frankly, no. But that changed going up against Pine Richland in the Baldwin-Peters Township tip-off tournament. 61-44 the win. Upper St. Clair, a team that has given Baldwin fits over the last few years, whether it's section play, non-section play. 51-45, Baldwin beat St. Clair. They dominate South Park 42-31, and it was a low-scoring game, but they had control for a majority of it. And Penn Trafford 52-47, a Penn Trafford team that was 22-0 in the regular season a year ago, ended up getting the 3 seed in the 5A playoffs. They're victorious in that one, and Baldwin is 4-0 on the season so far. As you take a look at some of the Baldwin boys, they're going to take the floor for our second of 2 games here tonight on TenbandTV in partnership with the Baldwin Sports Channel. This is a string for Baldwin. Pine Richland, Upper St. Clair, South Park, Penn Trafford, Peters Township, Trinity, Albert Gallatin of 7 home games in a row before they go back on the road to start the new year at Uniontown.
Yeah, and I think something else that benefits Baldwin, something that's not really talked about a lot early on or even in a scheduled period, is the home and away difference. And I think the scheduling Baldwin has had has really benefited them because they're able to play on both surfaces to an equal level. You're not seeing a problem whether they're able to not be able to play on the road or at home.
Jayla Kendall, number 10, a freshman, into the game for Peters Township and has the basketball. Kendall loses it with Bernatis, taking it away from her. Lindsay gives it to Ott. Jules off one dribble, hits another layup. And the thing about this too, Ethan, is these are just layups that, sure, some of them are contested, but a lot of them are easy as McCullough makes a difficult shot to give her now 7 to lead Peters Township.
Exactly. I mean, I think that's exactly what you need to do is you're seeing chemistry to be applied here. I mean, between Lindsay Ott and Julianne Ott, you could tell there is a lot of, just time and dedication put into each other.
And a great find from Meyer to Ott on the block.
Common denominator being Julianne Ott, really, just showing off that senior guard ability. She's being, scouted as well and for different programs as well collegiately. She's put a lot of time and effort into this team that's showing off.
McCullough can't hit this time. It's Meyer clearing the rebound. Kelsey Meyer up the floor, sidesteps, and scores.
Almost looked effortless. Really good ball handling around. Just a defense that was there, ready to go, planted. Really good job by Baldwin.
Sopko almost stolen away by Lindsay Bernatis. The kick to the corner. 3-point ball up for Welsh. Rebound Bernatis. Lindsay trying to dribble away from traffic. Has Lacey down low. Lacey off one dribble. Can't scoop it in. Fight for the rebound. Goes to Sopko. Sopko pushes in transition for Peters. Bounce pass. Moriel for 3. Gets fouled and hits it. Money ball for Bree Moriel, the senior, back on the floor with 2 fouls. Will go to the free throw line to try to capitalize a 4-point play.
She got hit on the wrist as that shot was going forward. That was impeccable ball handling skills for herself to be able to maintain the focus, stick with it, and complete the play. Really good work to be able to work through contact.
And cool to see for Bree Moriel, who was closing in on her 200th career 3. And that is it, with the 200 balloons up in the stands for the Moriel family to show it off. So a cool moment there and a chance to make it 4. And does. Her first points. So it's Lindsay Bernatis, Jules Ott, Hannah Prilla, Kelsey Meyer, Isabella Niles, the starting 5 for Baldwin, as Jamal Woodson elects to take a timeout. J.C. Klingensmith at the scorer's table will set the check in. 3:48 remaining, second quarter of play. Baldwin has built a 12-point lead, 34-22. As Baldwin so far this season averages right around 50 points per game. is on pace to smash that number.
Exactly. It's interesting. Even though Baldwin is up 12, you can't take your foot off the gas, but you also need to be methodical about what you're doing, because this Peters Township team, despite being down 12 right now still and not being the exact team we saw last year, has the blueprints to be a very good team coming out, continuing on. I mean, if you had 3 wins against Upper St. Clair, Pine Richland, and North Allegheny. I know Pine Richland isn't exactly a powerhouse school known for their girls basketball this year, but Upper St. Clair and North Allegheny were solid wins. And something else to note with the girls team, they haven't lost 1 or more games in December since 2022.
Yeah,
so
very impressive.
Exactly. They know how to start the season off right early on.
And Lindsey Bernardis. And that will back it out. Klingon-Smith came on for Prillo. Sets a screen for Bernardis. Lindsey still with it. Now over to Ott. Look down low for Klingon-Smith. Almost thrown away. Klingon-Smith now able to take it. Bounce pass to Ott. And Jules high off the glass is able to get it to drop. 14 points for Jules Ott. Pass to Moriel. It was almost deflected by Klingon-Smith. McCullough drives in. Kicks to the corner. Welsh up top. Moriel drives inside and scores. (36-24). 3 to go before halftime. Jules Ott will set it up. With Bernardis in the right side corner, Niles at the left side wing. Bernardis will come take the basketball right near the Peters Township bench. They look cross court to Niles. Niles off one dribble, gets away from the defender and real high off the glass scores.
No shot clock is very much benefiting Baldwin in that situation.
And Jamal Woodson goes after the basketball. He's trying to get involved in the action. It's been that up-tempo.
Exactly. I mean, and I think no shot clock really helps Baldwin there, because you're able to set a play and you're not being rushed in that time limit yet. It's going to come into effect soon.
Yeah, 2028-29, the shot clock officially will be in place, as they're going to give teams a pretty long cycle to be able to adjust as McCullough travels. 3rd travel called against Peters Township in the half.
And that's exactly what Baldwin need to be able to do, because then guess what? Isabella Niles is go down low to the baseline. She finds herself free, takes a free dribble as well. No rush at all, and Baldwin's able to communicate. You're seeing it now between Ott and Bernardis again. It's just what they do. Communication is ever so key, and when you're given an unlimited amount of time to do so, taking full advantage of it is exactly what you need to do.
It's a high 2-3 zone for Peters Township, as that's why Baldwin was able to exploit it the last time. They're trying to change up the defensive sets, as we've mainly seen Baldwin be able to run in transition. It really doesn't matter what they've played in the half court, as they call a timeout with Jamal Woodson using his 2nd so far of the game. 2 fouls called on Baldwin so far in the quarter, just 1 on Peters Township, so none to worry about in that regard for the penalty as of yet. But a ton of games that are taking place tonight in section action. Section 4 of 5A with Albert Gallatin at Bethel Park, Peters and Baldwin, and Trinity at Thomas Jefferson. TJ beating Peters Township at Peters so far early on this season. And those games all starting at 6 o'clock. Did we start the trend of doubleheaders because of the broadcast calendar? Can we take credit for that or no?
I mean, I don't know if anyone else could try.
I don't remember there being, maybe this is just to my own ignorance, doubleheaders until like 5 years ago, right after the COVID season, where the girls would play first and then the boys would play 6 and 7:30, until we decided, hey, maybe we should stack it that way. I think there were a couple of schools that did it, but now it seems like everybody does it.
Well, exactly, but you also got to think, it just makes sense scheduling-wise. I mean, to put them back-to-back, I mean, everyone's there. It saves time for the facility as well. You got to think it makes a lot of sense more realistically to do that.
And you also get a decent contingent of students that are already here.
Yeah. You can't
for the
come
girls'
too
game
early.
here for the boys' game as well.
Yeah, you can't show up too early. You're showing up, even if you show up early, guess what? You're watching a good basketball game, which, by the way, this very much is, despite the point differential between these two teams right now.
Jules Ott pokes it away from McCullough. And Baldwin has just been pressuring to an extreme against Peters, forcing multiple turnovers, 3 travels, and just making Peters Township uncomfortable as they're able to get it into Sopko.
Yeah, I mean, full court press, half court press. I mean, you name it. Baldwin's pressing up against Peters Township, making them uncomfortable. You're seeing a lot of those mistakes transition.
Moriel drives in. Outlets and a foul called as the pass went to Welsh, but Moriel was hacked on the arm.
Yeah, that one just a little too handsy, a little bit right there on the wrist. Even, I mean, right kind of in line with where the table is. it's an unfortunate call because of how good Baldwin's been as this first half has gone on with not causing or triggering a lot of fouls.
It's the first foul on Ott as Niles will go off to the bench and Lacey Bernardis comes on as they throw it into Sopko. Now Moriel. Back to Sopko. Swinging it down low. Radulovic kicks. Moriel, who drives in, dishes. McCullough pulls the trigger for three. Almost banked in. Offensive rebound for Moriel. And she'll look to reset up top. As she tried to dribble into a three and will outlet to Sopko. Sopko knocked away. Bernardis with another steal. Bernardis with Meyer. Lindsay inside. Odd-looking shot. Meyer tries to rip down the offensive rebound, and a foul is called as Meyer was trying to go up with it. So not a jump ball, but instead of foul. And maybe a discussion now to see if it will be changed to a jump ball instead of a foul called, as Baldwin's already preparing to inbound the basketball at the left side block. It would only be the second foul on Peters Township if that's the case. And it will be a foul that is called on Peters. They get Sopko for her first.
I mean, that was fantastic work by Peters Township. The only reason that they got the rebound there is because Bernardis, she was aggressive to the rim, wasn't really prepared for the bounce off of it. So then Peters Township takes advantage. But there, in that case, just taking too long to develop play. You need to take one to the rim. You had a few open looks. Don't overcomplicate it.
Ott for three. Money ball. Jules Ott now with 17 points just in the first half, as Baldwin has put 41 on the board. They only scored 42 in a win against South Park, already 41 against a good defensive team in Peters Township. Moriel with it in the final minute of the half. Moriel gets fouled. A hand check inside the paint as it goes on Lindsay Bernardis for her first. So everyone that has played for Baldwin other than Hannah Prilla has scored, as Moriel for three. Got it again. Two triples for Bree Moriel, and now 9 in the game.
It's exactly how Peters needs to continue to go. And even though 38 seconds left, finishing with, your foot on the gas in the right way could really change a lot of things how the second half appears, even though Baldwin is holding a hefty lead and a dominating one at that.
Defended by McCullough. Gives way to Meyer. Prillo to Lacey Bernardis. And it's an offensive foul called on Prilla. And that's happened to Prilla a couple of times this season, as it's her second. So Klingensmith and Prilla both with 2 fouls. As Prilla goes off.
Yeah, she's just not setting her foundation. She's, getting, I guess a little reckless is the correct term in that case in the foul department, because they're off-ball fouls too. She's setting picks, she's charging, trying to create open opportunities for her teammates, and just isn't setting foundation.
Lacey Bernardis with the steal. Goes to Lindsay in the final 5 seconds. Lindsay Bernardis up the floor. Bernardis gives it for the shot up and off the mark for Natalia Briscoe, who came in for the last 25 seconds. But Baldwin takes a 41-27 advantage to the locker room. What was 19-14 becomes 41 points for Baldwin in the first half of the play, and one of the highest scoring outputs we've seen for the Fighting Highlanders in our years covering the games, Ethan.
Exactly. I think it all starts, with your top two, with Lindsay Bernardis and Julian Ott. Right there alone, you see 28 of your 41 points right now. And by the way, there was only one other person that scored a basket in that second quarter, being in Isabella Niles with that layup we saw early on off the left block. So tremendous work right now from Baldwin, even though it's not going down the depth chart like before.
Baldwin scores 22 in the second quarter in lead 41-27 at the break.
Play It Again Sports in Greensburg is your locally owned and operated sporting goods store. We set ourselves apart by offering a wide variety of both new and used equipment at competitive prices. Located in the Greengate East Plaza, below Walmart, Play It Again Sports' knowledgeable staff will help you and your family prepare for every athletic season. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or trade, we are here as your one-stop shop. At Play It Again Sports in Greensburg, everybody plays.
Discover the heart of Pittsburgh at Mount Washington Shop and Save. At Mount Washington Shop and Save, we're more than just a grocery store. We're your neighborhood destination. From the freshest local produce to gourmet delights, we've got it all under one roof. Experience convenience, quality, and savings, all in the heart of Mount Washington. Mount Washington Shop and Save, where Pittsburgh shops with a view. Shop smart, shop local, shop Mount Washington Shop and Save.
Thank you for calling Penny, PA's help.
I mean, winning by 4 and then going out to lose for that team later in the state run.
Kelsey Meyer takes away the inbound. Too far for Welsh, and Meyer hits the layup.
Really good job sticking with it, especially with pressure right behind her. Focused exactly on her ball handling. Size mismatch, and Radulovic took full advantage of it, having those few extra inches over top.
Good find from Lindsey Bernardis to Lacey, who takes the driving lane and puts it in. Decided to bypass it. Had the open driving lane, and why not just hit the floater to keep it a 4-point game. Down low, Radulovic, another layup, good. Sopko in the final 30 seconds to Radulovic. Taken away by Ott. Goes right into the passing lane, and an easy, uncontested layup.
Can't make it any easier than that for the team, not because of the returning success, but the lack thereof and how they were responding. Now this year, they're in a better position for themselves.
And another for Lindsey Bernardis. Here in Mary Vargo graduating. It's a team that's very experienced, has played together a lot, and has forced a ton of steals today, as it's Meyer capitalizing. 6 for Kelsey. Kendall loses it with Bernardis, taking it away from her. Lindsey gives it to Ott. Jules off one dribble, hits another layup. Well, can't hit this time. It's Meyer clearing the rebound. Kelsey Meyer up the floor, sidesteps, and scores. Down goes to Sopko. Sopko pushes in transition for Peters. Bounce pass, Moriel for 3, gets fouled and hits it. Bernardis with Meyer. Lindsey inside, odd-looking shot. Meyer tries to rip down the offensive rebound, and a foul is called as Meyer was trying to go up with it.
It's taking too long to develop play. You need to take one to the rim. You had a few open looks. Don't overcomplicate it.
Ott for 3. Money ball. Jules Ott now with 17 points just in the first half. So everyone that has played for Baldwin other than Hannah Prilla has scored, as Moriel for 3. Got it again. 2 triples for Bree Moriel, and now 9 in the game.
Play It Again Sports in Greensburg is your locally owned and operated sporting goods store. We set ourselves apart by offering a wide variety of both new and used equipment at competitive prices. Located in the Greengate East Plaza, below Walmart, Play It Again Sports' knowledgeable staff will help you and your family prepare for every athletic season. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or trade, we are here as your one-stop shop. At Play It Again Sports in Greensburg, everybody plays.
Discover the heart of Pittsburgh at Mount Washington Shop and Save. At Mount Washington Shop and Save, we're more than just a grocery store. We're your neighborhood destination. From the freshest local produce to gourmet delights, we've got it all under one roof. Experience convenience, quality, and savings, all in the heart of Mount Washington. Mount Washington Shop and Save, where Pittsburgh shops with a view. Shop smart, shop local, shop Mount Washington Shop and Save.
Thank you for calling Penny, PA's health insurance marketplace. How can I help you?
I need help paying my health insurance premiums.
You came to the right place. Penny gets you the lowest costs on high-quality plans.
Enroll now at penny.com, paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
What a wonderful day!
Welcome to Temple Strength and Sport Performance, where we empower you to reach new heights in strength, speed, and athletic performance. Temple is here to support you every step of the way. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned athlete, join him in Jefferson Hills, Pennsylvania, and discover the difference. For more information, call 412-527-1755. Start your journey with us today.
Do you have a favorite leather couch or chair that's damaged? Has your car, boat, or RV's interior seen better days? Maybe your business's furniture or your private aircraft's interior could use a little love. You're probably thinking replacement is going to be expensive. And what happens to the damaged piece after you throw it out? Does it just end up in a landfill? It doesn't have to. FiberNew specializes in the restoration of leather, plastic, and vinyl. To get an estimate, connect with us today.
Back for the start of the second half in the 41-27 game. The Fighting Highlanders pouring it on against Peters Township. So far, just one half has gone by. Austin Bechtold and Ethan Spazarski alongside on the Baldwin Sports Channel in partnership with TenbandTV as the Fighting Highlanders will throw it in and we switch ends as Baldwin will approach the right side basket as you see it. Wearing their home whites with purple numbers and purple and white and black trim. Peters Township in its road red with red and white trim. And we are set to go to start the third. Lindsey Bernatis will throw it in right in front of us with Bernatis, Klingensmith, Niles, Meyer, and Jules Ott. So Prilla off the floor to start the second half. It's Klingensmith in the first five. Meyer drives in, gets blocked on the way up by Welsh. With a second chance at it, Bernatis loses it out of bounds, and it will go the other way.
I think you got to start with their, good job overall that when that possession gets Baldwin around, the shot doesn't make it, you're not questioning an automatic foul. You continue to play through the contact. Obviously didn't pay off because Baldwin now has turned the ball over since, but not a bad start in the sense of, not getting caught flat-footed. However, now you got to come up with a defensive response early on, even with a sizable lead.
Welsh has it now and goes to Moriel. To the corner, and McCullough gets a screen from Moriel. McCullough, good roll down low, but an errant pass trying to find Welsh. Meyer with the basketball, picked it up but traveled, not able to do that, as it'll stay here now after the turnover.
And that was exactly the response he needed off the first possession. Great work by Ott to work down low, and then complimentary play by Meyer, but fortunately just getting a little too handsy off the loose ball.
Right into Sopko. Now Moriel in the corner. Moriel drives in, and a foul is called. No shot. They wave it off. And it's an offensive foul that goes against Mara Radulovic. And that's her first. That's 2 moving screens we've seen in the game.
Yeah, and it's something you don't see often. I mean, really just with Prilla is what we've seen so far in her 2 fouls, but interesting tactic now. Now Baldwin has a chance to get right back on the right side of things offensively from what we saw in the first possession.
Bernardus has it up top. Drives in, spins, dishes. Klingensmith outside the arc. Left it way short and it's rebounded by Sopko.
Tipped in front. That shot didn't get everything on it to make it to the rim.
Moriel to the corner. McCullough for 3. Too strong. Klingensmith on the rebound. Has missed everything. Ott looks to push the tempo. Jules to Bernardus. Lindsay drives in, sidesteps, right hand, can't finish. Kelsey Meyer, offensive rebound. And the reset with Ott. Jules Ott drives, dishes, Niles on the perimeter. To Klingensmith, same spot. And instead we'll back it out. Lindsay Bernardus pulls for 3. That was also deflected on the way there, but ruled no, it was not. So it looked like it was tipped.
That was clear. I
thought it was.
It was clearly tipped. And I mean, Jordan Welsh was on it. She was eyeing the ball. She stayed with the ball the entire time. Got that right hand out. There was a clear deflection, but I guess the officials didn't see so or didn't agree so.
So Lacey goes off as Lindsay goes to the bench. Moriel swings it around. Radulovic down low. Sopko. Double team comes. Gets it to Radulovic. Can't hit the layup though. And Klingensmith is fouled.
Great concentration for Baldwin off. I mean, that ball sails through the air. 3 bodies go down, and next thing you know, it's Radulovic standing there all alone with an open shot. Baldwin comes away with another loose ball and then forces Peters Township to get handsy. I mean, allow Baldwin to now have the ball, push it down the court, and get a chance to score.
Second on Radulovic of the half in the first 2 minutes. As Ott goes to Klingensmith. Went 7 against Shady Side Academy. Her highest output of the year. Lacey Bernardus now. Defended well by Moriel. Lacey looks down low. Good find to Niles, but can't hit the layup. And Niles, a little bit more insult to injury, ends up picking up the foul.
And that was a large credit to Lacey and her ability to ball handle, move around, and just stall in a sense to allow everyone to work down low down to the baseline with Isabella Niles. Unfortunately, though, just where she was in placement-wise, wasn't able to get up and get it.
And that is the 3rd on Isabella Niles. So the worst foul trouble of anyone in the game is Niles' 3 fouls. Prilla has 2. Klingensmith also has 2 for Baldwin. They look down low. Radulovic is not there, as Welsh will maintain. And now look to throw it into the post. But traveled. Couple of difficult possessions for Mara Radulovic, the junior. As Peters Township will bring Caitlin Malloy back in. Daniela Radulovic, her older sister, 6'3" senior, graduated a year ago, had 6 points in the last matchup. As Meyer looks to create, bounces to Ott, was almost stolen away by Sopko, who defends against Ott, right near half court. Ott gets a screen from Meyer, and it's a foul called on Kelsey Meyer. And the Baldwin bench, a frantic no way called out. And Jamal kind of calmed the bench down a little bit. As no one has scored in the first 3 minutes of the third quarter.
On either side, and Peters Township's only had 2 scores since the second quarter. I mean, that's not exactly what you want to see. I guess in a sense you got to compliment a lot of the defense on both sides.
Moriel for 3. She's got it. Bree Moriel, 3 triples in the game, including her 200th of her career, now with 202. Bernardus gets it poked away. A steal for Peters Township. Thrown up the floor by Welsh. Long pass as it's Sopko deflecting it. And Ott just decides to let it bounce out of bounds and we'll take it. That looked like the Peters Township football team winning a WPIAL championship on that long pass.
Yeah, no
like
one
50 yards
out here. Yeah, and I mean, first of all, fantastic football team as well. Just ability to mesh and work together through so much adversity, especially in that 5A championship.
Yeah, there's
game.
something in the water in Peters right now as the football team wins a WPIAL championship. That's their second in 3 years.
Correct.
Boys basketball goes to the WPIAL championship game for the second time in 3 years. And the girls team wins the WPIAL championship last year. Good things happening for neighboring Peters Township. As McCullough pulls from straight on. Ripped away by Welsh. And back to McCullough. McCullough lost it to Lacey Bernardis. On up the floor. Stolen away Sopko. Back and forth we go. Good find to Moriel. Blocked by Ott. And Ott got tripped up as she hit the deck right in front of the student section. And it looked a lot worse than what it ended up being as Ott was quickly able to get to her feet. But there's a little bit of a limp as she was called for the foul. And that's the second on Ott in the game. As Bree Moriel will go to the free throw line. 1 of 1 so far. Capitalizing on the 4-point play, but she can't hit the first.
Yeah, Bree Moriel has, not only was she the only person to score so far in this quarter period, she's the last person to score for Peters Township moving into the second quarter as well.
So Moriel last year had 2 threes in the matchup. It was a 67-57 win right here at Baldwin for Peters Township as the Fighting Highlanders went 0-2 against Peters last year. Natalie Wetzel, how big of an impact she had? 34 points. 34 points, including 32 in the final 3 quarters.
And what makes it worse is she has more points than her team so far combined in this matchup alone.
Ott drives inside. Maddie Mell just kind of left where Ott was, but then ended up poking it off of Ott to be able to force the turnover, and Peters Township elects to call timeout.
This is a good use of a timeout as well. Even though Peters Township has found themselves on the positive side of things in the third quarter, technically, both sides, a lot of sloppy play, a lot of turnovers, a lot of inconsistency offensively that you aren't really used to seeing. And carrying on our conversation, I mean, I think you can name 8 Division I starters through Peters Township last 2 years just by girls basketball and football alone off the top of your head without having to dig for it. I mean, Division I talent as well. I think Peters Township has found themselves on the right side of things athletically for a long time. They've always been a pretty good, I think pretty good is an understatement, but overall good team athletically, or big good school. And now for Baldwin, really find themselves on the right side of things for basketball, something that it took a bit of time to get back to where it was, because at one point, Baldwin basketball was a really good, prestigious sport represented by the school, and now it's finding its way back there as well. The head-to-head matchup today, thus, where each storyline is led, is giving us a good game.
And before the game, got a chance to talk to the first Baldwin girls basketball team that ever won a section championship in 1974. But how about this? In that 1974 year, there was no, at least by what I was told, girls basketball WPIAL championship that they could have played in. There was districts, but ultimately won the section, but ultimately no WPIAL championship. And I said, you guys should have 1974 up there on the WPIAL championship banner, the first one for Baldwin girls basketball being in 1976, the first of 4, the final one coming in 1983. That was also the last year that Baldwin has won a section championship, 1983, as Bernardis is fouled after the steal. It's Lacey on the steal, number 21, fouled by 21 for Peters, Jordan Welsh.
Yeah, I mean, this is, it was kind of funny how we talked about it last year with the boys. You know, what was it, 39 years since
39
the section
years.
championship. Turned that around. I understand it's been a little bit longer than that for the girls, but overall as well, something else you're noticing, girls and women's sports becoming much more increasingly popular, and they're growing too outside of that with, I mean, girls wrestling, women's wrestling, and even flag football as well. You're seeing a lot of progression in the right direction for girls sports.
Yeah, you're talking 43 years. That would be the streak broken for Baldwin if it's able to win the section this year. Because they have a really strong team, and the team that's capable of doing it. And up by 11 points against Peters Township in the final 3 minutes of the third quarter. As Bernardis looks down low for Ott, but is stolen away by Radulovic to Sopko. And they push the tempo. Bounce pass. That can't be corralled by Maddie Mell.
Yeah, I think you have to give right now what you've seen. Again, it is still 5 games into the season. We're still early in the first half of the season. However, from what you've seen for this Baldwin team, you've been given no reason to not consider them a legit threat in 5A basketball competition in the WPIAL.
So the 5 for Baldwin, Jules Ott, Lindsay Bernardis, Lacey Bernardis, Hannah Prillo, and Kelsey Meyer. As Bernardis gets blocked by Radulovic. Moriel moves up with it. To Sopko. Sopko drives inside. Not a lot of space, and a foul called resulting in 2 free throws upcoming for Alina Sopko. Has not scored since the first quarter. And they're instead going to have it out of bounds at the left side block as the foul goes on Kelsey Meyer for her second.
Yeah, I mean, I think what's working right now, something Peters needs to start utilizing is, I mean, Radulovic, she's 6 foot tall, tallest girl on this team, or at least on the floor as of right now. Utilizing her more. She's been doing a lot of rebounds, only has 4 points.
Here's Bree Moriel. Gets a screen from Malloy. Moriel, floater, bounces off. Fight for the rebound, stays with Peters Township. It's Sopko looking on a great pass to Welsh for the layup.
And that's exactly the complementary basketball you need. You fight, you scrap for it, offensively earning the bucket, and that's exactly how you do it. Baldwin becomes pressed to the basketball, leave one too many girls unattended on the backside.
And what was a 14-point lead is now 9. Ott can't extend it back, but a late whistle and a foul called as Jules Ott will go to the free throw line.
Yeah, Jules Ott has a chance to get the first points of the quarter for Baldwin, period. No points by the Highlanders so far. So you go 41 through the first 2 quarters, and now you're almost done with the third with 0 on the board.
Yeah, in over 6 minutes, the scoring drought has continued where Ott, 2 of 2 at the free throw line, makes it a third with 18 points. McCullough comes back on for Peters as they send Sopko off to the bench.
Exactly why you can't take your foot on the off the gas. 14-point lead doesn't matter. Still needs to be handled carefully because as fast as you can get, especially in basketball, you can lose it.
But Peters has only scored 5 on the other end, so it's not like they've really been able to take advantage offensively of Baldwin's scoring drought that ends from Jules Ott making both. McCullough, Malloy, deflected away by Bernardis. Lacey with Welsh dribbling in. Welsh gives Moriel, open shot for 3. She's got it. Another for Bree Moriel. 4 triples on the game. She has 15 points to lead Peters Township.
That pass looked like it was tipped by Lindsey Bernas's right hand. She stood out there.
She can't roll it in as it's out of bounds and will stay here.
I mean, I think defensively that wasn't a bad opportunity. You get the tip pass and force Peters to take a 3, which besides for Morel, it's not like there's only been, let's look, only 1 out of 3 made outside of Morel for this Peters Township team. So overall, that was a good defensive stand. Just couldn't be able to capitalize on it.
So Ott throws it in from the left side block. Lacey Bernardis loses it, but stays in bounds. High pass deflected on the way to Ott. As Jules Ott tries to get it out of there. Now Lacey Bernardis up to Lindsay up top. Prillo comes for a screen. Bernardis drives in, dishes. Lacey, open 3 left side corner. Too strong, though. Meyer fights for the offensive rebound, looking with Mel, and it was Mel that was able to clear it out. Up the floor goes McCullough. McCullough, jump stop, doesn't go, gets her own miss. McCullough looks for an outlet. Straight on for a 3-point bucket up and off. Mel not able to hit. Another chance for Peters Township. And another good look for Welsh. Too strong. 4 chances for Peters, but it's stolen away by Bernardis. Lindsey Bernardis with Jules Ott. Bernardis drives all the way in. Right hand, too strong. Fight for the rebound. Goes to McCullough in the final 30 seconds. McCullough cross court. Moriel's open. And hits her 5th. Bree Moriel doing it by herself to bring Peters Township back in this.
I think you need to notice, remember, there were 2 or 3 threes attempted on that first possession. They all were missed. Moriel gets her first attempt on it on the next possession. Money ball.
Prillo with 2 seconds has to put up a shot. Prillo doesn't know it and hits it off the side of the backboard. And what was a 41-27 game at the half, Baldwin scores 2 points in the third quarter and now only leads it by 5, 43-38. Back for the fourth quarter in a moment.
Play It Again Sports in Greensburg is your locally owned and operated sporting goods store. We set ourselves apart by offering a wide variety of both new and used equipment at competitive prices. Located in the Greengate East Plaza, below Walmart, Play It Again Sports' knowledgeable staff will help you and your family prepare for every athletic season. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or trade, we are here as your one-stop shop. At Play It Again Sports in Greensburg, everybody plays.
We start the fourth in a 43-38 game as Baldwin only puts together 2 points in the third quarter, and it wasn't even a field goal. It was 2 Jules Ott free throws to give her 19 points on the night. But Bree Moriel with 9 points, 3 threes in the third quarter, plus a bucket from Jordan Welsh, helps Peters Township to outscore Baldwin 11-2 in the quarter.
And it's exactly what we said and talked about. You can't take your foot off the gas at all. 14 points or not, you still have to credit with the resume of what this Peters Township team can do, and a team that still has talent despite losing your starting 5.
And now the pressure goes on Baldwin to try to respond after an incredible first half. They throw it cross court to Moriel. Austin Bechtold, Nathan Swazarski, the Baldwin Sports Channel in partnership with TenbandTV. Sopko dishes, Welsh drives, floats, can't hit. Offensive rebound goes to Welsh. Malloy for 3. She's got it. It's a one-possession game. Caitlin Malloy, her first points.
And that's all because Baldwin really struggled on rebounding in that last part of the third quarter. They could not collect any rebound. They're giving Peters Township way too many opportunities in the offensive side.
Bernades to Ott. As the offense has gone cold. Ott scores on the first possession that Jules Ott is able to touch the basketball. She now has 21 and is able to respond after the triple. 45-41. Sopko, defended by Lacey Bernades. Sopko, the lefty, drives left side. Too easy on the scoop. Back to a 2-point game. It's Lindsay Bernades, Jules Ott, Hannah Prillo, Kelsey Meyer, Lacey Bernades with Niles set to check in. They're trying to post up with Prillo. Prillo calling for it. Bernades does not go that way. Now Lindsay up top to Meyer. Meyer to Lacey Bernades in the corner. Lacey right near the Baldwin bench to Ott. Screen from Prillo. Doesn't really help though to get McCullough off. And McCullough takes it away from Ott. Good defensive pressure with Welsh streaking towards the basket. And is fouled by Meyer. That's the third on Kelsey Meyer. They've all come in the half.
And the problem with that is because there is no shot clock, because Peters Township can take as long as they want to go up and get a basket, because then if you allow the basket to go, you can take your time and slow things down, try to recontrol pace of the game. No shot clock, that becomes a problem.
Moriel, Lindsay drives in, scoop layup doesn't go. And now Moriel pushes to Welsh. Welsh drives in, Welsh, we're tied. A 14-point lead at halftime, completely erased as we're knotted at 45 all. And Baldwin just searching for answers. Only 4 points in the last 10-plus minutes as Bernades to Ott, and an offensive foul called on Lindsay Bernades, who at this point just seems stunned by what's taking part right now. And this Baldwin collapse in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, there's just no answers being given right now. I mean, it all starts because there haven't many made baskets as well.
And Bernades goes off to the bench. And Sopko will bring it up. To Welsh. Looks down low, not there though. And Sopko, defended by Meyer. Sopko drives. Klingesmith brings up the help defense. Fight for the rebound goes to Meyer. Meyer looks to push. Needs an outlet. Meyer across the timeline. Defended well by Moriel. Looks to Niles, but it goes through Niles' legs. It's Bernades saving it from going out of bounds, and Lacey Bernades drives. Outlets. Ott takes it and pulls for 3. Jules Ott, when they needed it most, hits her second triple of the game and has 24 on the night.
It's exactly what Baldwin needed in response, and you're only up 3 now. However, that right there kind of resets the pendulum of where it was swinging. It's exactly what Baldwin needed to do to be able to put themselves in a position to get back into it and consider, because it was looking bleak there. It was not looking good overall.
And Ott was just left wide open. McCullough late getting over and late to put a hand up as Baldwin elected to call timeout. So Just 2 remaining for Baldwin in the game. 3 still to go for Peters Township. What is a 3-point game, 48-45. It was just a lot of basketball still to be played, but as we started the second half, no let-up from Peters Township. They're a team that is really known for its defense and effort on that side of the basketball and of the floor, really. And that's why they've been able to put together this successful of a second half that's turned defense into offense.
This is a team last year that in the WPIAL playoffs outscored their opponents 203-169, averaging about 51 points per game, and only holding their teams they faced to 42. I mean, overall, the offensive stamina ran dry in the first half, but Peters Township has taken full advantage of that and just the ability to continue to work off of what they've done. 26-4 in their last 3 seasons. They made it to the PIAA playoffs in 2 of those 3 seasons as well, and made with the WPIAL playoffs all 3 years.
Yeah, and Baldwin, one of the best teams this year defensively, only giving up 44 points per game. Peters Township averages 58 a night.
I guess you can say it's a team with the resume versus a team looking to that's continued to build theirs over the last 3 years.
Yeah, and is really trying to add some hardware to it and basically go from a bronze star to a gold. It's thrown away. Niles with it. Here's Ott moving up the floor. Niles calling for the basketball. Ott doesn't see her, though, as they reset up top. Ott to the Klingensmith. To the corner in Bernatis. Lacey has an open 3. Too strong. Rebound McCullough. Now Bree Moriel. Up top. Half the quarter gone by. Malloy brings the screen. Moriel drives in. Dishes. It was Welsh who threw it away. Now Ott. 3-point game. 3.5 still to go. To the corner in Niles, who pulls the trigger for 3. Way too strong, though. Fight for the rebound. Goes out of bounds. Last touch by Malloy. It will stay here as Caitlin Malloy had the ball right in her hands, but just not able to squeeze it to take possession.
It looked like Peters Township just had one too many passes, too, on the offensive end. They had a few open looks down low, but they wanted it. They're rather looking to tie the game instead of keep chipping away at it. And that's where, I mean, again, ball handling paying dividends on the defensive side as well.
Good find to Meyer for the layup. 10 for Kelsey Meyer. Sopko to the corner. Welsh goes back up top to Sopko. A lot of movement down low for Peters. They bring Malloy over for the screen. Sopko goes the other side of it. Sopko, the lefty, scoop layup, rebound Klingensmith. Crossover for Ott. 2:40 to go. It's Ott, Lacey Bernatis, Isabella Niles, J.C. Klingensmith, and Kelsey Meyer, the 5 on the floor for Baldwin. Ott bounces, Meyer to Klingensmith. To Jules Ott, 24 on the game, and gets fouled by 24, McCullough. That is just a first on Taylor McCullough. Rather, it's her second, as it gives Peters Township just its first foul of the half, or of the quarter. So Lacey Bernatis will throw it in. Niles all the way in. Niles finds space and scores. Got right past Bree Moriel in a nice little sidestep to be able to get to the right side block. Isabella Niles, just 4 points, but has been impactful in her minutes.
That's something that hasn't happened all night either, because you've seen with, I mean, just down low, Peters' ability to really, especially in the second half, stand strong in the post and each block. But exceptional work by Isabella Niles, creating some space in her own opportunity too, paying off. You don't need to have a lot of points, but she's contributing at a moment where Baldwin needs it most, and just really found their sea legs, or just got rid of their sea legs rather, from when they went on a long scoring drought.
So for Baldwin at 4-1, trying to win its first section game of the year, you wonder who are going to be the main teams that are going to most compete in this section, and it's a very strong one with Baldwin at 4-1, Uniontown 5-1, TJ's 5-1. TJ's probably the strongest team in the section. Trinity also a really good team at 5-0. They started the conference 1-0. Peters, Bethel, Albert Gallatin all losing their first conference games, and of course this the first for Baldwin in section play.
Yeah, South Fayette as well. Obviously, you got to continue through them outside of section play.
Yeah, in Section 3, they're already 6-0, and you can imagine they're just going to roll through their section.
Exactly. I mean, the crazy part, there are 4 sections in 5A girls basketball in the WPIAL, and that provides a lot of different talent. The nice thing is, for what benefits Baldwin overall, you didn't compete well against Peters last year, but guess who they did compete well against? Thomas Jefferson.
Yeah, and they won a game against TJ in the matchup here against the Jaguars, and it's a team that Baldwin has had experience in having a pretty good back-and-forth matchup against as Malloy pulls for 3. Niles tries to grab the rebound. There's a whistle and signals that McCullough stepped out of bounds as she touched the basketball, battling with Niles.
It looked like now correct me if I'm wrong. When the basketball bounces up top above the backboard and rolls on the white, is that still in play, or does it depend?
That's out of bounds. So it must have been ruled that it went off maybe the top of the face of the glass. As Ott bounces to Meyer, and we'll see what Baldwin elects to do as Moriel applies tight pressure on Ott. There's 1 foul against Peters in the quarter. There's the second, as they will need to continue to apply the pressure, try to force a steal, but with it being a 7-point game and Moriel picking up her 3rd, they'll bring Bernatis back in as Klingensmith goes off.
Yeah, you're going to need your biggest hitter to come out and help for Baldwin, even though she went on a bit of a drought herself, too, with a few missed layups. Having Lindsey Bernatis on the floor changes a lot of things, especially defensively for Peters.
Into Lindsey Bernatis. Finds Niles. All right to the basket, but too strong. Meyer fights for the offensive rebound with Lacey Bernatis. And there's a foul called on the rebound as McCullough came away with the basketball. And it looks like it's going to stay here. The foul will go on Peters. So they get Maddie Mell for her 3rd. That is the 3rd on Peters. Bernatis signaling Niles to go back near half court. As Ott has it. They bring the double team. Ott tries to dribble out of it, and the foul's called on McCullough. That is the 3rd on Taylor McCullough in the game.
It's now 4 Peters Township Indians with 3 or more, with 3 fouls right now. I mean, that's something else you got to benefit is Peters has played clean basketball up until this point. It's given them a lot of opportunity to spread out more fouls as well.
Niles gets it into Bernatis. Lindsey over to Ott. Ott almost stolen away by Moriel. Ott still going to Niles. They bypass the good look, and we'll just try to burn some clock as Niles is fouled.
Yeah, they're playing keep away at this point. You're telling Baldwin's just trying to drain the clock out because you can tell in a moment's instance, Peters Township's right back into this game. They're only down 7. That's 3 possessions. However, if done correctly, enforcing a few fouls, you can do it even less.
And that's the 4th on Bree Moriel, who leads Peters Township with 18 points, including the 5 threes. As the first one is up and good for Isabella Niles, her first trip to the line.
And again, Isabella Niles now 5 pending, potentially 6 points. 4 of those 6 points are going to come in very clutch time for Baldwin when they needed it.
Can't hit the second, though. Niles goes after the offensive rebound, but Sopko corrals it, and a timeout called by Peters. So 2 remaining for Peters. Baldwin still has 1 in the final 1:20 of the matchup in an 8-point game.
It's funny because Peters Township come into it halftime 14-point deficit. You think you're not really worried about it. You're considering Baldwin's going to be able to roll again in a game where they scored 41 points, where just a game or 2 ago against South Park, Baldwin only had 42 total points.
Yeah.
And then guess what? They were, I guess, starstruck, or just they weren't able to cash anything in that 3rd quarter, and Peters Township turns around, and now all of a sudden again, now it's an 8-point game, and it's back to being really close.
Has to be concerning, though, if you're Baldwin, where you put up 41 in the first half, and then you score 2 in the 3rd. The offense picks it up a little bit more in the 4th, but after you were completely rolling and it seemed like shooting, around maybe 75% from the field, realistically.
Yeah, and I think it also helps that Peters was getting a lot more looks in that 3rd quarter because of the rebounding they were producing on the offensive end. They weren't allowing Baldwin to go down, and when Baldwin did, it was just sloppy layups that really weren't to be able to finish, even when the looks were good for Baldwin when they had them.
Stay tuned for Game 2 of our doubleheader as the Baldwin boys will take the court against the Peters Township Indians. And It's an important one to start section play. Peters is already 0-1. They lost to TJ. So right now it's Thomas Jefferson's section in the South Hills at least, beating Peters Township for both the boys and the girls. And Baldwin is trying to do the same to Peters and start 0-2. Moriel bypasses the 3, drives in, floater, good. Bree Moriel, 20 points in the matchup. As Ott tries to dribble out of traffic. Ott still going, inside a minute. And Sopko fouls her. It's the 4th on Sopko, so 4 on Sopko, 4 on Moriel, 3 on McCullough. Jules Ott goes to the line for 2, trying to extend her 24 points on the night. Now 4 of 5 at the free throw line. Missed both, though, in a 6-point game. And they threw it away, trying to find McCullough. She was wide open, but Sopko and Mel, they're trying to pass it, just threw it away there. And now a substitution into the matchup for Peters Township.
Something that Peters Township actually did a really good job with early on is those long stretch passes, work quickly on it, maybe a Baldwin defense that was slow in transition. That time, now Baldwin needing to capitalize on a prime opportunity late.
Maddie Rost comes in for Peters to try to force a steal, and almost did, as they'll now send Moriel back into the game. The buzzer already sounded, so she has to go back in. And she's now standing right near the bench, so I guess they just let Moriel stay out and kept Rost in the game. As it's Ott with it, and is fouled by Rost. Maybe not a good foul. I mean, Baldwin's time, the 10 seconds was starting to count down. Almost forced a violation as Maddie Ross is called for her first. So Jules Ott back to the line, missed the last 2. She's now missed 3 in a row as everyone is over near the Baldwin bench, drawing up the play to try to defend the next play and break the press if there's an ensuing bucket. No one in the lane as Ott has missed 4 in a row to keep Peters Township alive with Sopko driving, gives it up to Mel. Mel to Moriel. Moriel off one dribble, pulls, and it just rolls out. Niles is fouled, as that would have made it a 1-possession game, and the way the Baldwin's been missing free throws, that could have been very, very interesting.
That basketball did everything but go in. Great shot, great look, on connect, rolled through the rim twice, and physics decided to reject the opportunity. That had every opportunity of a great look for Peters, but now for Isabella Niles, who honestly has been the more clutch-esque player right now for Baldwin in this second half, has an opportunity to put it away, even by making just one of these 2 free throws.
Foul goes on McCullough, her 4th. Niles sets the first. And the senior captain, Isabella Niles, got both. Seemingly put this one away on an 8-point game. Welsh swings it, cross court, Molloy pulls. Rebound Moriel. Moriel will take the layup. Now with 22. That timeout called by Peters Township. It's a 30-second timeout. Each team has 1 remaining.
I think another thing you got to look at, I mean, just continue to dive into what looks good at this game. Baldwin hasn't allowed Moriel to go outside the arc in this 4th quarter, which, by the way, she had 3 in the 3rd and 5 total in the game coming into the 4th quarter. So great work to be, again, force and make Peters Township uncomfortable and play to a game that they're not used to playing. However, Peters has been able to stay into it because, again, of just the struggling offense in the second half. That Baldwin has been able to finish a lot of these plays or capitalize on prime opportunities. Right,
and Moriel averages about 12 and a half a game, 22 on the night. It's been Sopko with 7, Welsh with 6, McCullough only with 7. They really have not been able to get a lot of the starters going other than Moriel in what is a relatively low-scoring game, but for Peters Township, where they haven't put up a ton of points overall this year, other than 72 against a down North Allegheny team. How often do you see 72-47 against NA? Not too often, but it's odd. Going back to the free throw line. Caitlin Malloy called for the foul, just her first. So Jules Ott made her first 4, missed her last 4. What does the rubber match do? Now 25. With 14 seconds remaining. Sopko up the floor. Dishes to Welsh, and Welsh drives in. Difficult shot goes. As the clock can just run out, Niles is fouled with 0.5 remaining. A 56-51 game. It's a 5-point lead, and now the two referees right in front of us are saying, do you think we should have counted the foul there? And yeah, they're going to call it on Mel for her 4. So Spazarski, have you decided to take the over in girls high school basketball?
I've decided, yes.
Maybe you are happy about it, or maybe there's somebody in the crowd that's
I'm sure there's
doing something nobody really thinks would happen in high school basketball, but Niles got both. (58-51). Baldwin defeats Peters Township and starts section play 1-0. Peters drops to 0-2 in section action, and this one for Baldwin, a solid performance in the second half, but a great performance in the first. The lead that they built up, they were able to hold on to, even though Peters did eventually tie it, Spose. They were able to hold on and have now won 5 in a row, still undefeated at home.
Exactly, and I think this is exactly where you need to start, especially when opening conference play, or section play rather. Baldwin needs to get out to the right foot, and they did that a lot last year and now transitioning even into this year. And against a really good team, too, that has to build morale. That's not one that you just take lightly or you worry about. You need to be able to utilize that and put this in the memory bank, but continue to push, because Peters is a good team, TJ's a good team, but you're going to still have to face against South Fayette in these other crucial games later on in the season. 3
different scorers for Baldwin ended up reaching double figures. Lindsay Bernatis with 11, Kelsey Meyer with 10. Isabella Niles also had 9, but it was Julianne Ott, 25 points, Jules. A little bit of a scare with the free throws at the end.
I know.
But altogether, a really good game for you, a couple of threes. What was working so well?
I feel like we just moved the ball really well, and I feel like we really wanted this win because, Peters has been, one of our top competitions over the years, and to get this win is just so great for us.
So 41 points in the first half. Was that a little bit unexpected, and what was said in the locker room?
We just, we've been missing our layups a lot in practice, so that's literally all we did yesterday is just make our layups, and I feel like it really paid off because we had a lot of just wide open and transition.
But Peters was able to come back from a 14-point deficit and at one point tie it. What was the key to make sure that you got the lead back and held it for good?
We just had to make sure our passes were sharp and that we were making good looks and not forcing any shots.
Jules, appreciate the time. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Now 5 in a row and undefeated at home. A good way to start it. Thank you. So Jules Ott, our player of the game, 58-51 as the Fighting Highlanders win it. Peters Township now drops to 3-3 overall and 0-2 in section play after Peters Township a year ago just did not make it much of a habit of losing games. They lose this one in Baldwin. Now 1-0 against Peters and in the section. Final score, Fighting Highlanders win it 58-51. For Austin Bechtold and Ethan Spazarski, the boys matchup is up next. Stay tuned. We're back in a moment on TenbandTV.
I mean, winning by 4 and then going out to lose to that team later in the state run.
Kelsey Meyer takes away the inbound. Too far for Welsh, and Meyer hits the layup.
Really good job sticking with it, especially with pressure right behind her. Focused exactly on her ball handling, size mismatch, and Radulovic took full advantage of it, having those few extra inches up top.
Good find from Lindsay Bernatis to Lacey, who takes the driving lane and puts it in. Decided to bypass it, had the open driving lane, and why not just hit the floater to keep it a 4-point game. Down low, Radulovic, another layup, good.
It was another.
Sopko in the final 30 seconds. To Radulovic. Taken away by Ott. Goes right into the passing lane. And an easy, uncontested layup.
Can't make it any easier than that. For the team, not because of the returning success, but the lack thereof and how they were responding. Now this year, they're in a better position for themselves.
And another for Lindsey Bernatis. Here in Mary Vargo graduating. It's a team that's very experienced, has played together a lot, and has forced a ton of steals today as it's Meyer capitalizing. 6 for Kelsey. Kendall loses it with Bernatis, taking it away from her. Lindsey gives it to Ott. Jules off one dribble, hits another layup. Well, can't hit this time. It's Meyer clearing the rebound. Kelsey Meyer up the floor, sidesteps, and scores. Down goes to Sopko. Sopko pushes in transition for Peters. Bounce pass, Moriel for 3, gets fouled and hits it. Bernatis with Meyer. Lindsey inside, odd-looking shot. Meyer tries to rip down the offensive rebound, and a foul is called as Meyer was trying to go up with it.
It's taking too long to develop play. You need to take one to the rim. You had a few open looks. Don't overcomplicate it.
Ott for 3. Money ball. Jules Ott now with 17 points just in the first half. So everyone that has played for Baldwin other than Hannah Prilla has scored, as Moriel for 3. Got it again. 2 triples for Bree Moriel, and now 9 in the game.
That's not exactly what you want to see. I guess in a sense you got to compliment a lot of the defense on both sides.
Moriel for 3. She's got it. Bree Moriel, 3 triples in the game, including her 200th of her career, now with 202. Boy, Moriel, floater. Bounces off, fight for the rebound, stays with Peters Township. It's Sopko looking on a great pass to Welsh for the layup.
That's exactly.
Lacey with Welsh dribbling in. Welsh gives Moriel, open shot for 3. She's got it. Another for Bree Moriel. 4 triples on the game in the final 30 seconds. Malkawa cross court. Moriel's open and hits her 5th. Bree Moriel doing it by herself to bring Peters Township back in this. Dishes. Welsh drives, floats, can't hit. Offensive rebound goes to Welsh. Malloy for 3. She's got it. Sopko, defended by Lacey Bernatis. Sopko, the lefty, drives left side, too easy on the scoop. Scoop layup doesn't go. And now Moriel pushes to Welsh. Welsh drives in. Welsh, we're tied. A 14-point lead at halftime, completely erased as we're not out of bounds, and Lacey Bernatis drives. Outlets. Ott takes it and pulls for 3. Jules Ott, when they needed it most, hits her 2nd triple of the game. And
instead of keep chipping away at it, and that's where, again, ball handling paying dividends on the defensive side as well.
Ott, good find to Meyer for the layup. 10 for Niles all the way in. Niles finds space and scores. Got right past Bree Moriel. And the girls, and Baldwin is trying to do the same to Peters, and I'm start 0-2. Moriel bypasses the 3, drives in, floater, good. Bree Moriel, 20 points in the matchup.